Well, Ben, obviously you got the job done a couple of weeks ago. Disappointed with the defeat by Doncaster, but no fears or feelings that on Monday it doesn't matter against Mansfield. This is a game you want to go out and win.
Absolutely, it's our last home game and we want to put on a show in front of our own supporters first and foremost. It'd be nice to finish the season with 3 home wins in a row. And also for me it's always about doing what's right for the league as well. There's still things to be decided at the top end of the division, and it's important that we're honouring the league and the rest of the teams by being as strong as we can and playing as well as we can and trying to win the game.
I know Mansfield are bringing a lot of fans, and it's quite a nice one for the Colchester fans, to mark the fact that the job has been done, but also the fact that it should be an open game because they have to come here and win and they have to come here and score goals.
Yeah, I think Nigel's teams always play on the front foot and are quite creative and attacking, and they've got a really talented squad, some fantastic players in there, a few that I've worked with before. So they have to win, they have to score goals, which I think is a good thing because it makes sure it's not a flat last game of the season. It makes sure there's an atmosphere from the way that they play and the supporters that they're bringing. I'm sure we'll make an atmosphere with our home support as well. And we're looking forward to finishing the season on a strong note.
And speaking of the fans, I've obviously enjoyed the last 2 home games, 4 goals in each as well, and that a bit more of an idea of how you want to go about things, and you want to entertain. You want people to come and get their bums off the seats and get excited.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I love teams that attack and score goals and be on the front foot, and that's how we want to play. And for me, that's the only way to play. That's the reason everyone loves the game, and the reason every kid starts playing the game is to have the ball and to attack and enjoy it. So we want that to be a foundation of what we are, and obviously balance that with being good defensively and being a complete team. But the last 2 home games have been really good in that respect, and as I say, it'd be nice to make it 3 home wins and finish the season really well. And
without sort of going over last week's game, as it were, sort of after the game, you sensed your annoyance and sensed the annoyance of the players as well, that it still mattered, and maybe that's the standard that's been set.
Yeah, absolutely. It was we won. We were the better side and we should have won the game, but I still felt we could have been better. As I said after the game, and my opinion hasn't changed, we were probably just a little small percentage off the sharpness that we have been and had opportunities to take and win the game. But my reflection after watching the game back and looking through things is still the way the game was refereed and the way the officials performed was nowhere near good enough, and the game mattered to us. We wanted to win, we wanted to keep our unbeaten run going, and a big factor in that was the way the referee dealt with the game and the key decisions in the game. And for me, that's not good enough. At any stage of the season, we needed to be better and make sure that the game is decided by the performances of the players, and you don't get that feeling of injustice that we've worked hard all week and we haven't, the game hasn't been allowed to flow and play in the way that it should have been.
Again, without going on about last week, obviously Junior Chamadou sent off. Have you sort of had a word with him about that?
Yeah, Junior came in straight away the next week and apologised, but he didn't actually know that he'd been given the first yellow or the second. So he had his back to the referee when he was given the first yellow card, so wasn't aware. He was then given a subsequent yellow card and a red card, but again, and you can see it clearly on the video footage, Junior's walking off the pitch and the referee's behind him and gives him a yellow and then a red. He doesn't even know until one of the lads tells him later on that he got the red card. So it was frustration. If you look at the key decisions in the game, we have a clear penalty first half for handball. We have one of their players puts his head in one of our players' face, clear red card, and we have a goal at the end of the game that's well over the line and not given. So even those 3 decisions alone dictate the game, and we spoke earlier in the week that we're always going to be frustrated by that and disappointed by it. We need to try and channel that in the right way as a group, me included, because I was frustrated and ended up getting a yellow card. But at the same time, should we be in that position where we're frustrated like that? Not really, not to that extent. If the game's being managed in the right way, but it's probably going to be the same situation next season, if I'm honest, and something that me and the team, we need to be better at coping with and dealing with in those situations.
Yeah, and clearly it's been a stressful season for everyone anyway. Do you think maybe that's come into it? Obviously, there's the relief in getting the job done, but the stress has come into it that, look, we're giving our all here, and sometimes things aren't going to go your way, and it's how you sort of deal with that in the heat of battle as well.
Yeah, I think I want my team to want to win, and you could see that on Saturday, and you could see the frustration with the way the game was being managed and the decisions that were being made. And if they weren't getting annoyed and weren't getting frustrated, would that be an even bigger issue? Probably for me, because you need to care, you need to want to do well and win for this football club. So I don't want to take that edge off the players. I don't want that to take that edge out of me. We want to win. That's what we're here to do. But yeah, we need to channel it in the right way and make sure as much as possible that it's not costing us points in games.
Who knows what the future holds, but I think everyone's had the vibe from you that A, you're enjoying it here, B, you think it's a club you could do something with, and C, that you really want to lay down roots here and build something for a long time, if allowed to and if possible and if things go well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've enjoyed my time so far. I've said from day one, huge potential as a football club, and that was a big reason in me taking the job, that I was confident we could stay in the division first and foremost, and obviously we've done that, but also now let's take this forwards in all aspects of the club. We had a good meeting last week as a board, and we got a technical board meeting again this afternoon about all areas that we want to improve and get better. And Robbie's really transparent with the budget and the finances and how everything operates at the club, which for me is great. And from my point of view, I will always push to get things done and get better and improved. And some of them I will get yeses on, and some of them I will get no's on, which is absolutely fine. But if I'm not pushing and I'm just accepting things the way they are, I don't think I would be doing my job properly. So I want to improve all areas from a football perspective. We want to be as competitive as we can. We want the fans to enjoy coming and watching their team play. We want to develop players. We want to try and be at the top end of the division. These are all our ambitions for next season and beyond.
With next season sort of in mind, I know I've asked you about this before and you said you've got a couple of meetings, but are players now aware of their futures? Have those conversations started now face to face?
No, not as yet. They will do now. We're making decisions on obviously players that are out of contract, and I'll also be having meetings with all the players that are within contract, just in terms of setting some targets for next season now, letting them go away and enjoy their break, but then speak about what we're looking to build and what we're looking to do next season, so that when we come back, first day of pre-season, from the fitness testing into the first day of pre-season proper training, we're ready to go, we're ready to work, and we're ready to push on.
And just finally from me, again, next season seems an age away, but it'll be here with us in the blink of an eye. Looking at the teams who are already confirmed relegated, and the likely ones and the ones likely to go up and the ones coming in, a tougher division next season, do you feel?
Possibly. I definitely think last season, my experience, the division last season was stronger than this, in my opinion. Looking at next season with the calibre of teams coming in Wrexham, I think will be fantastic for the league with the exposure that they're going to bring as well. Notts County potentially as well. I know there's a playoffs to go, and I'm not being disrespectful to anyone else in those playoffs. It could be any of those teams. And then you look at the teams coming down from League One as it stands, and potentially still coming down from League One. It looks to be a strong division next season, and as I say, we want to be right in the mix for that at the top end.
Brilliant, thanks Ben.
Pleasure, thank you.
In terms of those meetings that you spoke about with the players, are they likely to take place after the game on Monday, or are they taking place already?
The majority are Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. There are some before where players have got commitments, either holidays or family commitments, so I've shifted a few before that, but the majority of those will be Tuesday and Wednesday after Monday's game.
In terms of players coming in, ideally would you like to do some business as early as you can in the window, and I guess most clubs would.
Yeah, listen, in an ideal world you want your squad in place first day of pre-season and you've got all that time to work with them. I know that's not going to be the case, and they have to be the right players, so what we're not going to do is just fill spaces in the squad to get players in early when they're not the right ones. So I would love to have some in first day of pre-season and have a sort of a nucleus of a squad ready to go, but sometimes you have to be patient and wait maybe a few weeks to get the right player that you think is going to make the difference or be the right character that we need. There's no magic formula for that. It's a case of taking it as it comes, being as proactive as we can, doing as much work as we can, which we are doing, and then get that squad in place as quickly as we can.
Quite a few players out of contract here this summer. Do you expect it to be busy? Do you expect there to be a lot of changes here within the squad?
Yeah, I think there will be. I think it's been a busy summer in terms of what we're looking to recruit and how we're looking to change. As I said, we've got decisions to make on players currently. There's a good core here. There's a good core, and I know we're frustrated at being where we are in a division, but since January that's improved over the last 7-8 weeks of me being in. That we've been competitive in the division, which is great. So there's a good core of players and a good sort of team spirit and character. Important that we build on that. We don't want to throw any of that away. We want to build on it, get stronger, get better. As I say, make sure that we're much more competitive in the division next year.
Yeah, and pre-season is always crucial for any club.
Yeah.
But you coming in and at the stage of the season that you did, I guess you're looking forward to having that and starting afresh on your season with the team.
Yeah, I think now the fact of having this time this season to get to know the club, the staff, the players, and see everything gives me a head start on next season. We're well down the line with our pre-season planning now. I think we're virtually there on the friendlies. We're looking at going away on a tour, which we're just trying to finalise. So all these things are now falling into place. Pit work we're going to be doing on the pitches and at the training ground in the summer. Work at the stadium to get us in a better place for next season. All these things are going on, and as I say, we want to make that as smooth as we possibly can and as strong as we possibly can. And then pre-season is key for me. It's the best coaching time in a season. We want 6 good weeks with the players, and that will be our bedrock going into the season.
Yeah. Just going back to Monday's game, I guess it was a frustrating afternoon at Doncaster. Was it a case of sort of channeling those frustrations and using them positively on Monday?
Yeah, we want to bounce back quickly from that. It's always frustrating to lose, but when you don't deserve to, it's even tougher sometimes, and you feel that bit of injustice. So we want to put that right, and we want to finish the home form strong. We've had 2 good home wins on the bounce. I think we're unbeaten in the last 4 at home, and it would be nice to finish that with 5 unbeaten and 3 home wins on the bounce. Would be a lovely way to finish the season and go away with that good feeling in our stomachs ahead of next year.